We go back now to our top story about the rapid closing of Planned Parenthood clinics across the United States and the legislative efforts to defund the abortion giant through the health care bill. Joining us now from Capitol Hill is Representative Vicky Hartzler of Missouri. Congresswoman, thank you for your time.
Oh, absolutely. You're welcome.
Planned Parenthood announced recently they will be closing 10 abortion clinics across the nation. What's your reaction to this news?
Well, I think it's good news. It's good news for women. There are other healthcare clinics where women can get services that don't provide abortion. And so I think that's a good move.
Throughout 2016, Congresswoman, you served on the select congressional panel that was investigating Planned Parenthood. In your opinion, what was the biggest finding? What was the biggest takeaway Americans should know about Planned Parenthood?
Well, it is complicit in the buying and selling of baby body parts. They coordinate with the companies who procure the tissue for research and allow the technician to actually be embedded in their clinics. And in so doing, they not only are complicit in selling the body parts, but they also violate women's privacy rights. We learned the way that this is done is that an order comes in from the research company online, similar to an Amazon.com site, where they order the different body part as well as the gestation of the baby and the age of the baby. Those orders come to the procurement company technician that's embedded in the Planned Parenthood clinic. They look over the order and then they match it up with the Planned Parenthood's medical records of the women in the waiting room to determine which women might have a baby about to be aborted that fits the order. Then they go out and befriend that woman and get them to sign the consent by lying to them, telling them that their donation will result in cures for things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and cancer, which of course we know there have been no cures for those diseases. And then they stay with the woman during the abortion procedure, take the baby body parts, and very coldly and calculatingly they divide up the parts that match the order and ship them off to the procurement company. It is just abhorrent, and I think most people didn't even know this was occurring. So I'm glad we were able to shed the light on it and hopefully stop this process, and in so doing not only protect babies' lives but protect women who are victims of this process for profit for Planned Parenthood and the procurement companies.
This investigation that you took part in and the undercover Planned Parenthood videos really stirred more conversation about defunding Planned Parenthood. So as the Senate now debates the health care bill, how important to you are the pro-life protections, and would you vote for a health care bill that did not defund Planned Parenthood and have high protection?
No, I mean, there's no reason for us to continue to fund these abortion agencies, and that's why in the House we passed the bill that says we have the same amount of money going to women across this country for their health care, but it's going to be directed to agencies and to healthcare clinics that do not provide abortion. And so I'm hoping that the Senate will agree with this, because not only is it the right thing to do, it's what the vast majority of Americans want. There's been surveys done, even of people, whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. There's a large consensus that says we don't want our tax dollars going to pay for this or to support agencies that do provide abortion. And so it just makes sense. It's the right thing to do, and hopefully the Senate will come up with a health care bill that provides those protections as well.
Finally, Congresswoman, you previously taught high school. How did you see the abortion culture impacting those young women today, and has that played a role in your pro-life views?
Well, it was sad to see several high school students that I used to teach sadly turn to abortion. Some were coerced, some just, I don't think, had the facts. But when they did have the facts, they chose life. And that's where I think it's important that we share with people that a baby's heart starts beating at about 3 weeks of age, and show those pictures. I know one student who was considering abortion, and once they saw those pictures, they said, well, that's not a blob of tissue, that's a baby. And they had gone to Planned Parenthood and asked, what does my baby look like now? And it was about 4 weeks along, and the technician just had said, well, it's just a blob of tissue. But once they saw that picture, they said, that's a baby. And so we need to get the facts out to people, and I believe that once they have the facts, they will choose life. We also need to support our crisis pregnancy centers that I know many pro-life people do all across this country, to reach out and help these women in very vulnerable a time in their life when maybe those around them are encouraging abortions. We need to come alongside them and say, hey, we're going to walk through this process with you. We're going to help you and support you. And so there's many things that we can do to help ensure life occurs in this country and abortion ends.
A reminder to always speak the truth. Representative Vicky Hartzler of Missouri, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. You're welcome.